The icons who built the Atlanta rap game. Let's start with the GOAT, Future. This dude literally changed the game. Before Future, trap music was mostly about flexing, the hustle, and the street life. But Future brought this whole new layer of realness. He made it cool to be vulnerable in trap music. Like, he raps about heartbreak, addiction, and all the messy emotions that come with fame, but still keeps it raw and gritty. That auto-tune sound he's famous for? It's not just some gimmick. It's like the voice of the streets now. His 2015 album, DS2, is honestly a masterpiece. Songs like Fuck Up Some Commas and Where Ya At blew up everywhere, not just the clubs, but on playlists for anyone going through real stuff. He's one of those artists who's been super consistent dropping music, always evolving but staying true to rap. Future's sound even influenced huge names like Drake and Travis Scott, who've openly said Future helped shape their style. And it's not just about music. Future's grind is legendary. He's always dropping projects, collaborating with the biggest artists, and keeping the culture fresh. His 2020 album, High Off Life, showed he's not slowing down anytime soon. If you're talking Atlanta hip-hop, you've got to give respect to the guy who set the tone for so many others to follow. But before Future set that vibe, Gucci Mane laid down the blueprint. Number 2. Gucci Mane. Imagine the early 2000s Atlanta trap scene without Gucci Mane. Honestly, it's hard to even picture. Gucci didn't just drop music, he built a foundation. His raw, unfiltered lyrics and that signature Atlanta sound practically invented what we call trap music now. But what makes Gucci's story so compelling isn't just the music, it's the journey. His years of legal troubles and countless stints behind bars. Yet, every time he came out, he bounced back stronger. That resilience isn't just inspiring, it's shaped the culture of Atlanta's streets and its music. Gucci's influence goes deeper than his own catalog. The way he nurtured young talent like Migos and Young Thug changed the game. Without Gucci's early mentorship and vision, the Atlanta scene might look completely different today. What's wild is how Gucci transformed himself from street legend to a cultural icon. He openly talks about his battles with addiction and mental health, breaking down barriers in hip-hop around vulnerability. In a genre often associated with toughness and violence, Gucci's openness made space for a new kind of realness. Gucci laid the foundation, and that opened the door for Young Thug to shake things up like no one else. Number 3. Young Thug. Yo, Young Thug is like Atlanta's wild card and one of the most influential figures in hip-hop, and not just the city. His style is unmatched. The guy literally rewrote the rules of rap with his unconventional voice, unpredictable flows, and that fearless approach to fashion. When he dropped Barter 6 and later Jeffrey, people realized this wasn't just music. It was art, breaking boundaries. He's the reason so many artists today feel free to experiment and be themselves without worrying about fitting into some mold. Behind his music, Young Thug's impact on Atlanta's culture is massive. He pushed the envelope on what it means to be a male rapper with his bold gender-bending looks and fashion choices, including not just hip-hop but mainstream culture too. He helped make high fashion and avant-garde style part of the trap aesthetic, inspiring a generation of artists who blend streetwear with runaway vibes. Of course, his career hasn't been without controversy. His YSL Rico case with Gunna put a spotlight on the sometimes blurry lines between rap, gangs, and street life in Atlanta. But that situation also showed how influential he remains. By the way, #FreeThug. That brings us to number 4. Gunna. Man, Gunna's story is one of the wildest. He's not just about the smooth melodic trap that's been blowing up clubs and charts. Gunna's become a symbol of the city's ever-evolving hustle and style. He's part of this wave that took Atlanta trap from aggressive, fast-paced bars to this more polished, almost hypnotic vibe that's everywhere now. But Gunna's influence is way beyond trap. It's about culture, fashion, and the real struggles behind the scenes. In 2022, Gunna hit headlines when he was arrested alongside Young Thug and a bunch of others in the huge RICO case tied to the YSL gang. That moment shook the entire rap community because it highlighted the thin line between the rap game and street life in Atlanta. For Gunna, it wasn't just a legal battle, it was a wake-up call for the culture about loyalty, survival, and the consequences that come with being at the top in Atlanta's scene. But before all that, let's talk about the king of the South. Number 5. T.I. T.I. is the king of the South, and for good reason. Back in the early 2000s, when Atlanta was still fighting for national respect in hip-hop, T.I. showed up with that southern swagger, sharp lyricism, and business knowledge that put the city on the map in a major way. His albums like Trap Music and Urban Legend weren't just full of hits, they told stories about Atlanta's streets, struggles, and grind that people all over the country could relate to. What's cool about T.I. is that he was one of the first to really popularize trap music as a genre. He literally coined the term and turned it into a cultural phenomenon. Apart from music, the OG is a savvy businessman, actor, and activist. He's spoken openly about the challenges of growing up in Atlanta's streets and the importance of uplifting the community. Even after legal troubles and setbacks, he bounced back and used his platform to encourage positive change. His style also influenced a whole generation of rappers, from Future and Young Thug to Migos and Lil Baby, many of whom credit T.I. as a major inspiration. Talking about rappers T.I. influenced. Number 6. Migos. Migos flipped the whole Atlanta hip-hop scene upside down. When those three, Quavo, Offset, and Takeoff, burst onto the scene with Versace, the whole game changed. Their triplet flow and that fast fire style became a blueprint that pretty much every rapper has tried to copy since. What's dope about Migos is how they stayed tight as a family group while hitting superstardom. Their chemistry made tracks feel effortless, like you're right there vibing with them. And the way they mixed catchy hooks with street stories made their music resonate beyond just trap heads. Even casual listeners couldn't escape their influence. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Offset's highly publicized relationship with Cardi B, Takeoff's tragic passing, and other ups and downs added layers to their story and showed the human side behind the fame. Number 7. 21 Savage. Okay, so 21 Savage is one of those artists who really came out of nowhere and quickly became a heavyweight in Atlanta's hip-hop scene. What's wild about him is that his music is super straightforward and raw, but there's always this deeper layer of storytelling behind it. He's got that cold, deadpan delivery that makes you lean in because you know he's not capping, but talking from real-life experience. The guy's been through a lot, and it shows in the way he paints pictures of street life, survival, and his rise to the top. His breakthrough came around 2016 with Savage Mode, a collaboration with Metro Boomin that's basically a blueprint for dark atmospheric trap music. Songs like X and No Heart were everywhere, and honestly, they still hold up. What sets 21 apart is his ability to balance that hardcore street rap with moments of vulnerability and even wisdom. Like, he's not just glorifying the struggle, he's showing the consequences, the pain, and the mindset you need to make it out. Plus, 21's impact goes beyond music. Remember when he got arrested by ICE in 2019? It sparked huge conversations about immigration and identity in hip-hop. This showed he's more than just a rapper, he's a voice for a lot of people. His influence is also stretched to younger Atlanta rappers who look up to how he keeps it real without selling out. And don't sleep on his collaborations either. Working with artists like Post Malone, J. Cole, and Drake keeps him relevant and shows his versatility. If you want to understand modern Atlanta trap, 21 Savage is a must-know name. Talking about modern Atlanta trap, next up is number 8, Lil Baby. Lil Baby's honestly one of the biggest stars, not just in Atlanta, but in the whole rap game right now. What's crazy is how fast he blew up. Dude came into the scene around 2017 and basically took over with his smooth flow and relatable bars. He's got this way of mixing street stories with more personal stuff about his grind, his rise, and even his struggles with fame. His 2020 album, My Turn, was straight fire. Tracks like Whoa and The Bigger Picture were everywhere, and that last one especially hit hard because it was his voice speaking up during the George Floyd protests. That showed Lil Baby isn't just about flexing or making club hits. He's got a conscience, and he's willing to use his platform for something bigger. That's real respect in the culture. Lil Baby's got this infectious energy that you can feel even just listening to his music. Plus, his collaborations are insane. He's worked with everyone from DaBaby and Gunna to Drake and even legends like Lil Wayne. Also, Lil Baby's not just about music. He's been active in the community, helping out with scholarships and giving back to Atlanta. So when you talk about influence in Atlanta hip-hop right now, Lil Baby is definitely up there. But before that, there were OGs who made things happen. OGs like number 9, Ludacris. Ludacris brought that larger-than-life personality to Atlanta hip-hop when he exploded onto the scene in the early 2000s. His flow, clever punchlines, and humor set him apart. He was one of the first Atlanta rappers to cross over into film and TV, starring in the Fast and Furious franchise and building a multifaceted career that showed artists could be more than just rappers. His entrepreneurial spirit helped pave the way for Atlanta artists to diversify their brands. And finally, another OG group. Number 10, OutKast. Can't talk about Atlanta hip-hop without giving props to the legendary OutKast, Andre 3000 and Big Boy. These two are the OGs who first put Atlanta on the global rap map. They were musical geniuses who pushed every boundary and shattered stereotypes. Starting in the mid-90s, OutKast's albums weren't just southern rap. They were visionary, blending funk, soul, and psychedelia with hard-hitting rhymes. Tracks like Miss Jackson, Hey Ya, and Elevators are timeless and prove the South had its own unique voice. Their influence extends far beyond Atlanta. OutKast changed hip-hop by showing it could be experimental, fun, and socially conscious all at once. Andre 3000's eccentric style and poetic lyricism influenced a whole wave of artists who followed. Big Boy's commanding presence and smooth flow balanced the duo perfectly. Atlanta's entire hip-hop culture owes a huge debt to OutKast. They created a blueprint that showed Southern artists could dominate mainstream rap while staying true to their roots. Without OutKast, Atlanta wouldn't be the hip-hop capital it is today. No doubt, Atlanta hip-hop wouldn't be what it is without these legends shaping the sound and culture. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about the culture.